Okay.
All right, let's coat, Ivan.
Panel prep. Right now, it looks stunning.
Paint looks stunning, Ivan. We could do one of two things. We could use our adhesion promoter polish, but there's another option, and if you want to know more about adhesion promoter polish, check out the description below. Phenomenal technology.
Right.
But panel prep works so great, let's just stick with this.
Right. Panel prep, amazing tool. And we'll start at the back, work our way forward. Now, to use panel prep, we don't want to spray it all over the surface and let it sit there. No, what we want to do is spray some on the towel, and yes, I'm doing a Nick version of spraying here to start off with.
I approve.
A little bit more. And we go over the surface, and before it can dry naturally, you wipe it off with a second towel.
Why is it important that we don't let the panel prep dry?
We don't want the panel prep to dry because we don't want it to redeposit the oils that we're trying to take off the surface back onto the surface.
Squeaky clean.
Yep.
Ivan, you know what's odd is we're using panel prep and I don't see the scratches reappearing.
No, because they won't reappear. We've removed the scratches through abrasion. We haven't filled them.
This is something you could easily do as one person. You don't need two.
No.
It does help to have the second person following right behind to wipe.
In the beginning, I'm using a few more sprays, obviously, but as the towel gets saturated, I won't need to do all these sprays. We're getting a nice clean surface to work from. Let's get this window here. Nick is passionate about window cleaning, so.
I do love it. I realized as I did the interior windshield here, you know when you're passionate about stuff? I felt it.
Yeah.
Because I know it's something that's hard to do well, or at least, depending on who you ask, windows can be difficult, they can be a bear.
Yeah.
And I like doing hard things well. Don't we all?
Exactly.
Feeling like you know what you're doing? Crack the code? For me, it's all about having clean towels, using fresh sides, and never giving up. For Ivan, it's close the eyes, go by feel, use rinseless wash, walk away, happy, content, and the job is done.
Yep.
But if I'm not panting, then I haven't done enough work, Ivan. I like to make it difficult. More sprays, more passes, more stress on the AC joint.
Yeah.
Now, panel prep is simple. It's all about getting the paint so clean that it's receptive for the ceramic coating, so the coating does what it was designed to do, which is last. Because we're gonna put our 8-year on here, we want every ounce of longevity we can get out of it. That's the wrong metaphor, but we do want all the longevity and all the properties of the coating to work as designed.
Yeah.
What happens if the paint isn't clean and you apply a coating?
There's a few things that can happen. A, it won't look good because it'll be streaky. The other thing that can happen is just you compromise the durability of the coating. Now, the other thing that panel prep does for us, if we happen to have missed a little spot when wiping off the polish, this will take care of it for us.
Is this a step where you want to just breeze through it and kind of go sloppy with it? Or do you want to take your time?
This is your last chance of quality control of cleaning before you're done, before applying the coating.
What do you prefer, Ivan, panel prep or adhesion promoter polish?
I'm a big fan of the adhesion promoter polish, but not everyone has the right tool for it. Not everyone wants to do that. So panel prep does a great job.
It's simple, it makes sense, you don't need anything extra. Now, is it important to use our panel prep? That's a question we get all the time. Can I just use isopropyl alcohol or some other brand's prep solution?
No. Use the panel prep that comes with the coating that you're using. So for us, we have our own. If you're using another brand's coating, use their panel prep. They're engineered to go together. The only real exception to that rule is app because of the way it's designed. So the adhesion promoter polish is compatible with every coating because all it's doing is extreme deep cleaning. If you don't have panel prep and you have rinseless wash, that's actually a good solution as well. The rinseless wash will do the job. Ideally though, panel prep. And another thing you can use is a two-stage approach. First stage being all-purpose cleaner. That will get rid of any, shall we say, oil residues on the surface.
15 to 1?
Yeah, 15 to 1. Then use your rinseless wash to level it off. So if you don't have panel prep, that's the other way of doing it.
Speaking of panel prep, Ivan, if the company that you bought the coating from doesn't have their own panel prep, I'm not going to speculate on whether they made the coating themselves or had someone else make it. What I will say is you can use our adhesion promoter polish with any coating, Ivan.
Right.
So that's a good solution for anybody out there. If we want to debate which panel prep is right, just use adhesion promoter polish.
Right. To me, if a coating company hasn't gone to the effort of developing their own panel prep, yeah, it's a little questionable on my side. You know, having been in the R&D side of things for so long, this is an integral part of developing a coating. Next step in the process, the coating. We have our bottle of coating. We have our applicator in a fancy little box. Don't need to apply the coating though. This you do.
Do you have to go get a PhD at Detailing University to apply a ceramic coating?
Not at all. Everything you need to know will be featured here in the next couple seconds.
So it's DIY friendly.
It's very DIY friendly and easy to do. Now, the bottle, give it a little bit of a shake, especially our 3-year because we want to disperse the graphene in there. And then 10 or 12 drops on the applicator and we're ready to apply the coating. I always start on the bonnet or the hood depending on where the vehicle is from, and I like to go in a circular motion. Now, normally I would box in the edges, and as we go down the side of this vehicle, we'll be boxing in the edges of the panel. But we start in the center because you can see just how thick the coating is. And I don't want the coating to be that thick. I don't want to see these application lines. So I'm going to spread it further and further as I go. And as I'm doing so, I'll reach the edges of the panel. And I'll actually overlap past the edges of the panel. But I want to spread this out as much as I can. And what I'm doing in this first application is actually priming the pad, or the applicator pad. Now, being black paint, we get to see everything here. You have what looks like an oil slick on water or rainbowing effect. And as the solvents dissipate and as the coating attaches itself to the paint, that will clear up. And as it's clearing up, when you get to about 50% cleared up, then you can take a short nap towel, like this one.
The short nap towel in my hand.
And just lightly go over the surface. Nick is not applying any pressure whatsoever, and it's just gliding across the surface.
I'm going outside of the lines.
Yeah, always color outside the lines. Don't listen to your kindergarten teacher on this one.
You're not going to hurt anything. You are going to help yourself from having any excess coating left over by coloring outside the lines, which is actually what a high spot is, excess coating. So I'm using my insurance towel here, 2 different colors. two different consistencies, right? We got a plushie and we got a little short nap guy. It helps me remember which one is which so I can keep my standard operating procedure going. No excess coating on the panel, and my job here is done.
Now, I've added 2 drops to the applicator. That's all I need. I'm going to go halfway on the bonnet. Now I'm going...
Are we worried about the squeaking, Ivan? It sounds squeaky to me.
No, the squeaking is fine. I'm going around all these letters, and Nick is going to go around them as soon as I'm done to make sure that all the excess coating is taken off. I do put excess coating in those areas.
And no, we aren't debadging this and, you know, doing a blackout Range Rover. Like, these are old letters here. It is what it is.
It's a 20-year-old truck. It has a bit of life experience in it. It's got 160,000 miles.
Don't worry, I'm not done there yet. I'm just hitting the panel, leveling it. Just leveling the excess coating. Not wiping it off, leveling it into the paint. A little bit might get into my towel. Hopefully we let it sit just long enough that my leveling towel isn't getting wet. We don't want that with our coatings. I don't know what coatings you've installed in the past. I've used lots of other brands. Sometimes you get a wet leveling towel, but not with us. That's not the idea. So if it's getting wet, you're just leveling too soon. But again, use that visual cue of 50% of it disappearing on the surface, and that's a good time to level.
And yes, we coat the plastics as well. And I'll work my way down the bonnet as Nick follows behind.
Ivan, I used to step on wheels like a madman. But in my advancing age, I really do appreciate the wisdom of having a platform or a ladder on these higher profile vehicles like trucks or even an SUV like this.
Yeah. And this one has a lift kit, so it is a little higher than your average Range Rover.
I wondered about that.
Before going down the side here, I always put the lid back on the bottle as I'm working. That way, if I spill it, not a problem, it won't spill. The other thing is, our bottles are aluminum. If you drop them, they might dent.
One question, Ivan, that we haven't asked yet is why are we using the 8-year coating of all of our possibilities?
The 8-year is the most self-cleaning coating. This vehicle regularly goes off-road, regularly sees mud, so we want a coating that's going to clean itself much easier. It's our most durable coating. Stands to reason that this is the one it should get.
Yeah, this vehicle is not going to be a garage queen.
Right. Now, to apply the coating to the applicator pad, very easy. Don't try to pour from up here. It never ends well. Put it up against the pad, give it a couple shots, and then close it back up. That way, if you accidentally spill the bottle over, it's not going to empty its contents. And our bottles are aluminum, so if you drop them, you can get a dent like this, but it's not going to break the bottle.
And then 4 drops as you reapply?
So 3 to 4 drops, sometimes 2. This paint seems to be really soaking in the coating, so I'm putting a little more on.
How can you tell that it's soaking in the coating? Like, what does that mean?
Well, you can see as you're applying how quickly the applicator starts feeling dry. This is a small panel and it's already feeling dry.
I see some bubbling here and some rust. If I had ceramic coated this on day 1, would that ever happen?
Yes. Ceramic coating does not prevent rust. That was caused by a stone chip that eventually became a rust.
Wise words, Mr. Ivan LaCroix.
Ceramic coating does not stop stone chips. Ceramic coating does not prevent scratches. It's not a force field. It's there to protect your paint, to make it look good, make it easier to clean. That's the important part.
That's my favorite part about coating.
Yeah.
Is because I enjoy cleaning cars anyway. when it's easier to do, it doesn't make it like so easy that it's not fun anymore. It just makes it easy and fun.
Yeah.
I don't want headaches when I'm cleaning my car. I just want it to be a breeze. I still have to do it. That's fine. I enjoy the doing. I don't want to have to rescue the paint every time I wash it. So having the coating will just give you a more enjoyable relationship with your paint for the history of the vehicle. And that's worth a lot to me.
Yeah. Very important to always do the door handle inside and out. That way when the owner grabs the door handle, they'll feel the slickness of the coating.
Oh yeah. Anytime I see an emblem, a handle, a corner, I think high spot, hot spot, high spot, hot spot, high spot, hot spot. And sure enough, right here, there's a spot that I already missed. It's funny because I mentioned it and I actually missed it already. So I'm gonna level that. I'm gonna go around every potential high spot, hot spot up into here, around mirrors. I don't know why exactly. It's probably because you kind of do this with your applicator and then I don't know why they're high spot, hot spots, but I've missed them enough that I know where they are.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to creep up on me in a week and realize that I'm gonna have to polish it away.
Yeah. So we're sort of playing hopscotch here. The reason for that is very simple. I'm not in Nick's way, he's not in mine. If I had tried to do the whole door in one shot, it would have been a little too much. So I did the bottom part of the door, now I'm doing the upper, while Nick is doing the back door. And it also allows me to see what Nick has done on the bottom of the door, and it allows him to come back as well and see if he missed anything, because that is always a possibility.
You notice how as I use my insurance towel, I'm going way over this. I'm not just doot, because that's where you leave the high spot.
Yeah. There you go, Nick. Mirror and top of door. Now, some of you have asked, why is it always Nick that wipes off and Ivan that applies? It's because Nick prefers wiping off.
I prefer this.
Yeah, and if you're running a shop, you have employees, one of the things you want to do is make sure that your employees are doing what they love to do. If the employee is doing what they love to do, they're going to do a better job at it.
Whether you're doing that in a shop or a business or a family, I mean,
exactly.
I don't know, like let people find what they really enjoy doing and let them fly, right?
Yeah. Mirror.
Yeah, I like it when you set the speed because I don't like slowing you down.
What do you think, Nick?
It's a good spot. Do we have to ask consent?
He can take it off if he doesn't like it.
Oh, there you go.
But I'm sure he'll be proud to have a DIY detail sticker on his Range Rover here. I'll try to line it up to the other stickers. And the reason I'm putting the sticker on first, if we waited till after, might not have stuck.
That looks good, Ivan.
Now, sometimes you'll see this on your applicator pad. The black. Don't worry about it. That's oxidation from these pieces of plastic. Not a concern. It's not going to spread to somewhere else on the vehicle. Now on some of these older plastics like this, you actually want to level them very quickly, just to keep that smoothness of it. You see on the paint how it's still rainbowy, but on that plastic piece, it was almost all soaked in.
Yeah, plastic and glass I like to level immediately. Not C6 Hydro Glass, which is our windshield coating, but
Right.
with these ceramic coatings, you can level or wipe, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah, you got it.
very quickly without any issue.
Did I do this door? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. As Nick finishes up his high spot, hot spot,
Well, I forgot to
Search.
get the glass here, so I'm reapplying it just by dabbing it on there,
yeah.
and then we'll go ahead and level.
And with that, we're done this vehicle. Now, great transformation. We'll show you some before and after pictures because it's worth seeing the before and after on this one. Nick, what are your thoughts on what we did here?
It's stunning. I love that we put 8-year on at the end. I love knowing that it came in a bruiser and it's leaving a cruiser.
Right. It was definitely in need of a good detail. That's what we did. Of course, there's a few things that stand out. The rock rails could use a bit of paint, but that's beyond our scope. So can the wheels. the owner, if they want to, they can do that.
There's some touch-up paint. There's some deeper scratches. There's some faded plastic. I get that, Ivan, but I think anyone at home gets what happened here.
Yeah.
Is nothing short of stunning.
No, it's a 15-year-old truck. It was manufactured in 2009, so it's been around the block a couple times. And right now, it looks stunning. Nick, speaking of stunning vehicles, what's a video they should be watching?
Oh my gosh, this is a fun one. It's a rare vehicle, and it harks back to a simpler time at DIY Detail. You might want to go check that one out right now.
Mirror.
Yeah, I like it when you set the speed. Did you coat the mirror?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't level it, so it's classic.
High spot, hot spot.
Just the
glass.
glass I didn't get.